Xbox continues to show why they are putting the players first. Let's talk about it, y'all. You know, it's always about the customer. I remember when I used to work at Best Buy back in the day, they used to tell me, it's always about the customer. Now, I didn't always believe that, but I had to roll with it because that was my job, to make it be always about the customer. Now, Xbox feels the same way. They say they want to put gamers first. And it makes me think like, wow, Xbox is really going into next generation with a strategy. It's obvious that PlayStation and Xbox has two different strategies going into next generation. PlayStation strategy is more traditional. We're going to have PS5 only exclusives at the beginning of the generation. While Xbox is leaning towards, these games are going to look better and run better on your Xbox Series X, but they will still be available on the console that you have, the Xbox One or the Xbox One X. Now, in this console war, some PlayStation guys are like, this is a damn shame. Those games are going to be held back. Listen, man, I feel that gaming is a selfish hobby, right? It definitely is. But sometimes it's not always about us. If you guys realize, there's more casuals than there are hardcore gamers like us. And sometimes you have to cater to those guys. Now, don't get me wrong. I do want the best looking game on the Xbox Series X. And I believe Halo Infinite and some of the cross-generation games will look and run pretty good on the Xbox Series X. But today, Phil Spencer himself, he wrote an article on Xbox Wire where he said some interesting things. Now, some of these things we already know about, but it was some additional information that really has me excited about the future of Xbox. Phil said, you won't be forced into the next generation. Like I said, we already know that Xbox is making cross-generation games for the first couple of years of the generation. Now, let's be honest here. 2020 has been an absolute shit show. Not just for you, not just for me, but for everybody in the world. Yes, 2020 has been difficult. And I think Xbox coming up with Xbox Game Pass, Xbox All Access, some of the things that Xbox is doing really benefits the customer, because there's parents that lost their jobs, there's people who hours got cut, and they might not be able to get an Xbox Series X at the beginning of the generation. So, if you really want to play Halo Infinite, you're still going to be able to play it on your current Xbox One. Now, for people that's able to get the Xbox Series X, of course, that version will be superior in every way, but you'll still be able to play the game on the console that you have. And I think that benefits the customer. Now, Phil Spencer also talked about your games will not be left behind thanks to backwards compatibility. You will be able to play 4 generations of games on Xbox Series X day one. That makes it the largest launch lineup for a new console ever, with thousands of games to play. Now, let me go later in this paragraph to where he says, it's our intent for all Xbox One games that do not require Kinect to play on Xbox Series X at the launch of the console. So, if an Xbox One game that does not require Kinect, so that means no Dance Central, no Kinect Sports, those games won't work on the Xbox Series X because, of course, the Kinect is dead. But any other Xbox One game will work on the Xbox Series X, and it will play and look better on the Xbox Series X. That's amazing stuff, y'all. I am a 43-year-old man, so sometimes I get an urge to play some old music. I get an urge to watch some old NBA games. I get an urge to play some old video games. Yes, I do. And that's the absolute truth. Now, the thing that really surprised us today is that Phil also came out and said you will get more from your Xbox Game Pass Ultimate membership. Finally, today we're announcing that this September in supported countries, we're bringing Xbox Game Pass and Project xCloud together at no additional cost for the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members. Now, I always say about Project xCloud, it is better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Just like a gun, right? It's always better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. What I mean is that Project xCloud might not be for everybody, but if you ever got that urge to play it while you're out at the doctor's office, you're somewhere out where you're not at home and you really have an urge to play Halo Infinite, maybe have the urge to play any game you want to play at that time that's available on Project xCloud, you can play it. All you have to be is a member of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So all of those games on Xbox Game Pass will be available on Project xCloud with no additional charge. Listen, man, I know sometimes the console war has people thinking, Xbox Game Pass is stupid, I'd rather buy my games. Hey, to each his own. But I am a grown man with family. I have a daughter in college. I have a daughter that's about to be a junior in high school. If I can save money while doing my favorite hobby, which is playing video games, believe me, I'm going to do it. And Xbox is making that possible with Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. The Xbox Series X will probably be a $500 console. So if you can't afford that this year, stick with your Xbox One and you will still be able to play those first-party Xbox games for the first couple of years. Now, I know what some people are going to say, but Derek, what about the Medium? That game is Xbox Series X only title. Well, that's not a first-party game. There are going to be Xbox Series X exclusives. Hellblade 2 is going to be one, but that game might not drop until 2022. So you guys understand where I'm coming from. Xbox is giving you some leeway. If you need some time to upgrade to Xbox Series X, they're going to give you that time. But as far as this year, if you want Halo Infinite, you don't have to upgrade to Xbox Series X. Now, if you have the money to do that, you can do that. Options are great. That's all I'm going to say, y'all. But if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you happen to stumble upon my channel and you think I'm decent enough, why don't you subscribe? And if you subscribe, hit that notification bell to know when my black ass is doing some new content, baby. All right, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Shit. Damn, man.